And with them there, Eddie Hewitt. There he is, just going off court now, having brought, by tradition, the players' rackets on court. Eddie, who's retiring this year after 19 years at Wimbledon. He was telling me that his most embarrassing experience was when he let Newcomb's bathwater overflow and it flooded the BBC interview room beneath. So the players now just preparing themselves for battle. And these are the moments when they try finally to compose themselves, focus their minds, dealing with those little preliminaries, the drinks and the sweatbands, the spare shirts, and all the paraphernalia that they have to bring. Kid Craven will be in the chair today. 41-year-old from Farnham Common in Buckinghamshire, who started umpiring back in 1984 and did the mixed doubles final 3 years ago, and last year the ladies singles final. So a very experienced official, the son of an England rugby trialist. So he'll be just going through the preliminaries with the players, explaining it's a best of 5 sets match with tie breaks in the first 4 if required, but not in the last. The spin, and it looks as if Sampras has won the toss. Becker is choosing ends, and it'll be interesting to see whether Sampras has chosen to serve first or to receive. We'll find that out in a minute. And if it does become close at any stage in the first set, why, it's always better to be serving first at games all. And the photographer's chance to record this moment, which could become a historic one. At the back of the stand there is Barbara Becker, and in the front, Delena Mulcahy, Pete Sampras' girlfriend for some 5 years now. And at the back is Mike De Palma, the hitting partner of Becker. So here is the two-time defending champion, 23 years of age and a world ranking of 2, deposed from the #1 spot earlier this year by Andre Agassi. So he has those Grand Slam performances to his name. He's actually got 33 career titles, 5 of them Grand Slams, 2 in America, 2 here at Wimbledon, 1 in Australia. Set out to try and win the French this year, but I'm afraid that clay court campaign foundered rather badly. First round in Barcelona he lost to Olivier Gross of Germany, and then Monte Carlo, Harhus beat him in the first round where he was injured. Then in Hamburg he reached the semi-final, but 2 more first-round losses in Rome and France ended his hopes of adding the French championships to his trophy bag. And I think Pete Sampras has been struggling for form a bit, Bill Threlfall, in the course of these championships, but at least he is here in the final once again.
Well, yes, he's had a good build-up too, John, hasn't he? Winning Queens, not, I thought, terribly convincingly, but still winning it, and so that does something good for your mind. I think when we think about both these players, we can forget commitment. That's irrelevant. They're both so ravenous for the title, it's just not true. I think there are 1 or 2 things to watch out for, though, with Sampras. In particular, having watched him win so many times, when he's won, 2 particular shots stick in my mind. If they're working well, then he wins. One is when he's serving from the right court, and when he slices that medium-pace serve away, that either is an instant winner or else opens up the court for his quite magnificent volleys. That's one shot. And the other one, I always feel, is his backhand, top spin. When he attacks down the line, then that is a match-winning shot. He tried it a lot at Queens this year. It didn't really work for him. He played one marvellous topspin backhand last year, and I saw the reaction on his face. He felt it too. And so here is how he got there. First of all, Carsten Brash, who messed him around a bit, but he came through like a champion. Then he disposed of Tin Henman of Britain and his Davis Cup compatriot, Jared Palmer. I thought he really came of age in these championships against Greg Rosetsky, the new Brit, because he played a marvellous match, and he didn't wipe the smile off Rosetsky's face, but he played very, very well in that match. Matsuoka was a bit of a problem, and he just hung in there against Ivanisevic and refused to buckle. A champion's match that was. So he's had a lot of practice in these championships. It hasn't been easy.
And a man who probably knows this centre court as well as any of the current players, the man with the best record here at Wimbledon of the current men,
2 minutes.
Boris Becker. 27 years of age, and John McEnroe feeling that perhaps is a little old for winning the title, but of course there are many older who have won it. 6'3", a couple of inches taller than his opponent. Seeded 3 here with a world ranking of 4. That's because Thomas Muster is not here, the man who won in Paris. His highest ranking after he'd won that Australian title in '91. He became the #1 player in the world. And he, like his opponent today, has won 5 Grand Slam titles. 1 in Australia, only 1 in America, and 3 here. 43 career titles altogether. And his preparation ended at Queen's Club with a loss that was unexpected, but I think now playing, as he admitted himself, probably as well as he's ever done.
Yes, well, I think if this match reaches a critical stage like 2 sets all and 3 all, his strength of character, strength of mind in a tight situation is legendary. And I really think that might be a factor if it gets there. If not, though, I think on its way to that position, I was very, very impressed with the way he dealt with Agassi. His change of pace, I think, off the ground at the back of the court was marvellous, and I think he sowed the seeds of doubt in Agassi's mind. I think for both men in this match, return of serve is absolutely a key shot.
So this is how he arrived in today's final. Only 2 straight sets wins.
Ladies and gentlemen,
a lovely match against Alvarez.
Sampras won the toss and chose to serve.
Well, I didn't, it doesn't surprise me. I didn't expect to hear anything else. He has elected to serve, Sampras. So I think not only for the 14,000 or so seated around this historic stadium, but also for everyone around the world, the expectation for this final is absolutely enormous. 119 countries are taking our pictures. My goodness, too much for this chap, though. I wonder if he'll wake up in time to see who wins. So this is the moment when the butterflies have to be calmed down, but without them no man can play at his best. And the last little nervous tightening of the shoelaces.
Sampras to serve. First set, play. Out! 15 love. $30 love. 40 love. Game Sampras. First game.
Sampras really holding easily, Becker unable to find any returns. And I'm just wondering, Bill, really whether Boris, who has been through such emotional stress in these championships, first against Pierlin and then against Agassi, could have lost either, won both. I wonder if he's got another great match in him, and it'll have to be a great match to beat the defending champion today, and I suppose he's got the best help possible. Equalitieri has been plotting with him this progress through these championships, and it's worked pretty well.
I don't think there's a problem there. I really think those two tight matches, in fact, would have the opposite effect. They would have got him really match tight. They would have been matches to suit Boris Becker and his sort of strength of character. He came through them both magnificently well. He turned one match around, he hung in on one match, and he turned the other one around. I think that's excellent practice for what he plans to do here.
So their previous meetings total 11, 6 to Sampras, 5 to Becker, just one on grass here at Wimbledon in '93.
Becker to serve.
Sampras won in straight sets then.
Fifteen love.
Not all that easy because the ball bounces very high. Vickery hits it about head height. But that does help him to get the angle.
$30-15. $30 all. $40-30.
Well, seen from behind Boris here, look at this nice clean pass. Destructive weapon, this backhand return.
Deuce. Advantage Becker. Game Becker.
Wonderful.
One game all.
Concentration by Becker here in a difficult service game and forcing the error on the lob. So 1 game all. And already it's apparent that the man who returns the serve better will probably prevail.
First service. $15 love. $30 love. First service. $40 love. Game Sampras. Sampras leads 2-1, first set.
And on the evidence of Sampras's 2-service game, he's timed his arrival in the final perfectly. Hasn't lost a point yet on his delivery.
No, and he looks remarkably calm and collected. There don't seem to be any sort of signs of nerves. He's reverted to his purple liquid. He mixes that himself in the locker room. It's sort of powder which he puts water with. And he has to have a plastic container there. And you need drink on a very hot day like this. It's very hot for the spectators. And of course, for the players. If this is a long match, that is going to be a factor. Both superly fit, though. And there are a lot of interesting people watching this match. It's Absolutely fascinating.
Time.
Tom Cruise there in the dark glasses with Nicole Kidman. Appropriate, John, that we should have the Top Gun watching a Top Gun who, as yet, hasn't dropped a point on serves.
Tom Gullickson telling us before the match began about the state of his brother, who of course will be following this closely.
Love 15. Out. 15 all. $30-15.
That's the shot I meant, that he wants to get under control, and he didn't get it.
First service. Out. 40-15. Oh. 40-30.
Going for big second serves as he was against Agassi, and it surprised me that day that he didn't serve more double faults. 10, in fact, he served that day.
Becker. Two games all.
Both men serving well. On the evidence of statistics compared with last year, Becker has served 29 more aces and 2 fewer double faults than he did last year. Sampras 20 fewer aces and 10 more double faults. So on that evidence, Sampras is playing less well than Becker.
$15 love.
Well, here's somebody who's been down here and done it all, particularly in doubles. Tony Roach, John Newcomb's doubles partner in winning the senior doubles this year.
$15 all. $30-15.
Interesting here to see. That's a good pick-up on the half volley.
40-50.
How Sampras closes right in on the net. He knew he couldn't be lobbed.
Game Sampras. Sampras leads 3-2, first set.
So Sampras still looking good, dropped a couple of points there. The first 2 points he's dropped on serve in the match, one with a double fault. He served a couple of aces. And Becker hasn't served an ace as yet, but 2 double faults. Let's just see Sampras in action. Big knee dip. He tosses the ball well to the left, so he gets quite a lot of topspin on the serve. That was that half volley pickup, and this is where he closes right in on the net. That half volley kept very low, so his tennis brain told him Becker could not lob there. Close in, polish off the volley. He is such a wonderful all-court player, Sampras. He's got all the shots from any point in the court. He moves like a cat, and his brain is forever working out the correct shot to play.
Well, there's somebody here today whose voice you may recognise if you don't recognise his face, because Jack Kramer, the champion here in 1947, used to sit next to my late colleague Dan Maskell in this commentary box.
Love.
On the slender evidence to date, it's the service returning of Sampras, which is marginally better at the moment than Becker's.
(30-15).
Summary justice for a short lob.
Game Becker. Three games all, first set.
So after 20 minutes, you can't separate them.
Love.
Boris!
Lovely pass by Becker. Sampras couldn't guess.
15 all. (30-15).
Returning wider this time, Becker. Well, looking at
40-30
from behind Boris here, excellent anticipation from Sampras. Well, I'm not sure if Sampras left this, but I don't think he could have done a lot about it.
Advantage Sampras.
That was Sampras' fastest serve to date, 129 miles an hour.
Game Sampras. New balls, please.
Look at this return and see where it ends, on the head of the ball boy. And we're always saying, and I hope somebody's going to listen, that one day somebody is going to lose an eye and then it'll be too late. So I hope they take action to give both the ball boys and the net court judges visors or some sort of protection, both for the temple and for the eye. Well, I think Becker's returning of Sampras' serve in that last game was considerably better than it has been. But quite clearly, Bill, the quality of serving is going to be important, and the number they get in. And if we look now at the service percentages, I think we'll find that Becker's is rather low, which is rather why he's been struggling so much on his service games.
He's bound to improve on that, isn't he? And of course, they both have excellent second serves. At this level, you judge a player by his second serve. I still think the return of serve is going to be the crucial shot.
John McEnroe, who believed that Sampras was going to win this match, and thought it would be a struggle. Certainly that for both of them. No breaks, 3-4.
love.
Well, now this is exactly the shot
15 all.
that I wanted, for his sake, to see him bring off in this match. It is a marvelous pass. Head right over the ball.
30-15. (40-15). Game back up. Four games all.
What a marvellous second serve this is. 113 miles an hour. Sampras swings and misses. Not surprised. So we're getting to the business end of this set now.
Fifteen love. Thirty love. Forty love. Game Sampras. Sampras leads 5-4, first set.
Well, Bill, I didn't put you on the spot before this match began to ask you who might win.
Well, my choice is the same as John McEnroe, this chap. Having said that, I think he served very well so far in this match. I haven't formed any opinions during this set on who's going to win this match. It's purely that's my estimation of their relative strengths and weaknesses before the match. The last time I saw these two play was, in fact, in the Italian Championships last year, which has got no bearing at all on this match, but Sampras absolutely destroyed Becker on clay and made him look very, very sluggish. Now, I think during this Wimbledon, Becker is not sluggish at all. I think he's moving well and easily. He's coming in for his volleys here in this match, as he did in his semi-final, very nicely and calmly, and in a well-balanced way. He's playing good volleys. He's serving well. He looks strong. So it's, of course, totally even at the moment.
Well, there was certainly the glint in Becker's eye the other day. Barbara there, not having yet to hold her head in her hands. It was the same glint in Becker's eye that I saw in 1985 and 6.
Love.
Two shots, one by Sampras, and this volley absolutely at the limit of their reach.
All.
Phenomenal shot coming. That's a great volley, typical Becker. But Becker's facing the wrong way for that.
15-30.
This is a really great shot under pressure.
All.
Here's the big Becker serve. And just watch how he gets down for this volley.
Love.
Didn't read the toss at all, moving the wrong way.
Love. First service. Love.
Well, he was going the wrong way again. She had to move pretty smartly.
$40-15. Sampras. Sampras leads 6-5, first set.
Well, now 2 double faults running, serving at 5 games all. Not the best sort of indication of how you're feeling, but not too dangerous when you're 40 love up.
No, he's serving well, he's serving big. I was just thinking to myself how incredibly alike these two are, except in sort of character. They both got 5 Grand Slams, their Wimbledon record this year is so alike, it's absolutely incredible. The games won by Sampras 136 and by Becker 133, and the games lost 94 to 96. I mean, it's incredible, and they've won the same number of sets and lost the same number as well, 18 to 5. And yet they're absolutely at opposite poles, aren't they, in sort of character, behavior, friends, and all the rest of it.
Certainly, the evidence of these 11 games bears out those figures. It has been extremely difficult to return the serve for both of them. And as we saw just now, Becker not able to read from the toss where the Sampras delivery is likely to go, and Sampras having equal problems. Five-six.
Fifteen love. Thirty love. Love.
Served 99 aces before he started today.
Out. 14-15. Game Becker. Six games all, first set, tiebreak.
Well, now, those of you who believe that history has a bearing on the outcome of matches, when they played here in 1993, the first set went to a tiebreak. Sampras won it.
Sampras. One all. Two, one, Becker. 2-all.
So those half chances are the ones you need to be able to take. They're so fleeting in a match of this character.
To Becker.
What a sequence of shots in a marvellous rally. That fizzed with topspin, that one, which makes it difficult to smash.
4-2 Becker.
I don't think, Boris, it was the court.
4-3.
I think it was the back spin that was put on it on the return. It just checked there, and Boris rushed himself slightly. So the mini break this time to Sampras to recover the one he'd lost.
4-all. Four Sampras.
Sampras' half chance not taken. He was standing wide of the sideline, daring Becker to go down the centre, which he didn't. Got out of the way to play the backhand return. Five all.
Becker.
So the tiniest slip now, and the set is gone. Set point for Becker. So the first set has taken just 47 minutes. And it all turned really just on a few shots, as we knew it would. This type of match, which two of the three biggest servers in the game. Becker this time taking his half chance on that wonderful return of serve, forcing the volleying error.
Well, there was that terrific rally in the middle of the tie-break. Great volley there. Becker just reaching that. Here comes the fizzing lob. You could almost hear this ball whistling round,
Time.
which makes it dip and difficult to smash. The smash was perfect. And then just after that, Becker was faced with this horrible little half volley here, or near half volley, which with the backspin checks the pace, and that makes it difficult to time. And I must say, after that tie-break, there was a cold, hard, resolute look on Becker's face.
Second set. Becker to serve. Love 15. All. $30-15.
Well, big men can do things gently if they've got soft hands.
$40-15. Game Becker. First game, second set.
I must say, when I saw Boris Becker the other day, that marvellous moment in the Agassi match when he first broke serve and he looked around the stadium, do you remember? He put his hands above his head, his arms above his head,
Yeah.
turned round slowly, and the glint in his eye then, it seemed to me that he knew that he had a date with destiny again this year.
Yeah, I think you're right. And he more or less implied that in the interview we saw before this match, actually, that he suddenly realized, a couple of breaks down and a set down, that it wasn't over, and that he was Boris Becker, and he's turned around matches like that before, and he did again.
Lovely, that moment when he popped his head up through the entrance to the royal box. He didn't come right up so that the whole stadium would see him, but he just wanted to get a feel of the atmosphere out here before he emerged to play. And he's a person like that, with a sort of well, a sense of destiny, as I've said just now. That is exactly what it is. And that one fleeting moment in the second game of the match when Sampras might have stamped his authority on the match, but he didn't.
15 love. 15 all.
I remember his semi-final year, Sampras, in '92, the year Agassi won. He got very despondent against Ivanisevic.
(30-15).
So this service return here, look at it. Wow, how close. 30-15.
(40-15). Game Sampras. One game all, second set.
Well, he's prone to fall.
Love 15.
He's a heavy man, and if the foothold isn't perfect and he just pushes off in the wrong direction, or pushes off and slips like that, then down he goes. But he's one of the finest fallers you'll ever see. And in fact, in his early days, he was coached in Lehmann by Boris Becker, who taught him to dive onto gym mats to hit his volleys.
Well, from behind Becker, this is predictable. Becker actually should have done the wrong footing volley and gone behind Sampras.
What a lovely moment. Well, how lovely. Sampras orchestrating the crowd.
Love 40.
Well, they'll love that. Three break points.
(15-40). leads 2-1, second set. First set, Becker.
And the first break of serve in the match, Bill.
Yep. And didn't Sampras earn it? I think he was lucky in the point where Becker fell, but that wasn't too good a smash. And Becker was destroyed by the rhythm of that shot coming to him. And look at the reaction from Sampras. And now Sampras totally out of character as far as this crowd here are concerned. They don't know the man, they haven't spoken to him, they haven't faced the charm, in fact, which he has.
So really, Sampras has, I think, matured so much since those days, as in '91 when he almost stopped trying against Ivanisevic in the semi-final. I don't think he would ever have done this in those days, orchestrating the crowd to cheer for him, and how they did cheer too. And he always says that really this is his office, he has to come out to do a job. New balls, 2-1.
Love 15.
Wonderful anticipation, that's the difficult shot.
15 all.
And here's the anticipation and the control. Becker would have been wishing that he'd hooked it cross-court instead of that attempt to pass.
Fifteen.
Well, I'm sure he benefited Becker from failing to do that the last time he tried to pass. Suddenly he remembered he had this great top-spin cross-court forehand. What a fearsome weapon.
(40-30).
Not as far out as Sampras thought it was going to be, and Becker even thinks it might have been overruled, but no.
Sampras leads 3-1, second set.
Shot an anxious, fast glance at the linesperson, did Sampras, who made the necessary call for 3-1.
Love 15. 15 all.
Small margins are what will decide the outcome of this match. That volley missing by can't have been more than a few centimetres. Two chances then, thanks to a couple of double faults in this game, his third and fourth of the match.
(30-40). Second service. Deuce.
Well, from behind a disappointed Sampras, who would have made it but for this net cord.
Advantage, Sampras. Sampras leads 4-1. Second set, first set, Becker.
And you sense that the pressure now beginning to mount against Becker. He's really struggling against some fine service returns, but digging his own grave partly with those double faults.
Yes, this match actually has gone just the opposite way to what I expected. I thought probably Sampras, who likes to stamp his authority on a match right at the beginning, was going to take the first set. And then Becker, with his strength of character, would fight back and take the second. But it's gone just the other way. And I'm surprised, actually, that this very strong man in the head and the body has not underlined his break of his winning of the first set by doing very well in the second. I really am surprised, but you have to put it down to Pete Sampras and the way he's teasing Becker into errors by returning the serve to the feet and making Becker play that most awful of all shots to have to play when you're facing a good volleyer, the half volley, particularly on the backhand. I find that's a destructive shot to have to play in a positive sort of way. It's a damage limitation shot, and it's very difficult to do anything with.
Love 15.
You see the disappointment there. That's the one he likes to bring off. The slice serve from the right court as wide as possible.
$15 all.
Seeing Becker in his cap, I wonder why he didn't start the match in.
And also why he puts it on when he's down sun.
$30-15. $40-15. Sampras.
Well, the harder the ball comes at you, the more difficult it is to break the pace of it.
First service. $15 love.
Too tight.
$30 love. $30-15.
Yes, no wonder a little shake of the head there. The serve, which he knew was going to be such an important weapon today, has temporarily just lost its timing.
$40-15. $40-30. Game Becker. Sampras leads 5-2. Second set, first set Becker.
Becker holding on to his serve after losing the previous two. And it seems to me, Bill, that Sampras has been able to read the direction of Becker's serve rather better than Becker's been able to read the direction of his, because Becker's fallen into something of a pattern on the direction of his serves. If you look there, he's only served in the first court, extreme left of your picture, 9 to the forehand side of Sampras and 24 down the middle. So Sampras will be waiting for that to his backhand return, whereas in the other court he's done roughly half and half.
Yes, well, that conforms really to Becker's character, doesn't it? And the fact that he serves down the middle from the right court to the right court is, of course, a percentage serve. He's a tall man, 6'3". That's 2 inches taller than Sampras. But you will and can get a faster serve over the lowest part of the net, where it's 3 feet in the middle. And he is a predictable sort of player, Becker. I also don't think he is as good as Sampras as at that slice serve in the right court. And returning, Sampras doing much better than Becker.
Love.
The sixth ace, taking Sampras to within 2 points of the set.
40 love.
Three set points.
You're big and strong, you can make this look easy. Great timing.
Game and second set, Sampras. 6 games to 2.
So an hour and 15 minutes it's taken for Pete Sampras to draw level.
1 set all.
And really now I think we have a real fight on our hands.
Third set, Becker to serve.
Certainly Becker needing to regain his confidence.
Love. Love.
It missed. It was good tactics, but on both points he's given Becker a half volley. Great returning, but predictable serving. Well, a player knows when the die is cast, and it was there. Great return again.
Wonderful athlete, this man.
(40-15). Becker. First game, third set. 1-7.
So the ground staff just attending at this first change of ends in the third set to the state of the surface of the court, just taking out little bits of the turf that's been kicked up. Very necessary thing to do. Just smoothing it down. But beneath that, I went out there before play today, and it's beautifully firm. So the bounce is going to be true, as it has been throughout. And I think Eddie Seward has done a superb job in getting these courts into this lovely, firm state. He's been helped by the weather.
Time.
I've never heard a groundsman yet who hasn't complained that it's either too hot or too wet. I think Becker now has got to make a big mental effort to regroup, because those two lost service games he'll be very conscious of. So if he could now just pinch the Sampras serve, which so far he hasn't done, well, that would be...
Thank you.
That would be money in the bank.
$15 love. $30 love. $40 love. Game Sampras. One game all, third set.
Marvellously focused Sampras there. Altogether more mature than the man who came here all those years ago and lost in the first round.
$15 love. $15 all. 15-30.
Well, it's very difficult to volley a speeding missile, which is about half an inch over the net. That wasn't all that easy. Carved underneath it to give it control. And that was more difficult. Had to angle the racket face a bit more there.
All.
I guess somebody won a match now.
Listening to the cheers on court 1.
Watch Boris's wrist here when he comes in for this stop volley. He could have banged it away. He rose underneath it.
Deuce. Advantage Becker.
Well, just a split second to make up your mind to leave the ball. 90% of the time the players are right. You develop a sort of sixth sense.
Well, Becker steaming in after this very good serve into the corner.
Well played. And from the far end again, this is how it appeared to Becker.
Advantage.
Too
Sampras.
fast. And it's all because the returning of the serve by Sampras is now distinctly better than Becker's.
Deuce. Advantage Sampras.
Yes, Becker feeling the pressure of Sampras' return now.
Deuce. Advantage, Sampras.
The third time then, Sampras with a chance to break the serve.
Deuce.
Well, this was a hit and hope shot by Sampras down the line. He tried cross court and overcooked it. And that didn't miss by much either.
Advantage, Becker.
Easily the longest game of the match, this. Only the third that's gone beyond deuce.
See it again from behind Becker. This is a speciality Sampras shot. He hoists it high over the net. He loads it with topspin, and because it's so wide, it gets past the man at the net. It is a great shot, that one.
Advantage, Sampras.
So that eighth double fault there, giving Sampras a fourth chance.
Sampras leads 2-1. Third set, 1 set all.
Marvellous example there of the concentration and willpower Sampras was exerting and the pressure he built up in the mind of Becker by getting the returns back, making him stretch for those first volleys and even play half volleys. And
yes,
finally, it paid off.
It did. And we're beginning to hear noises from Sampras now. Have you noticed that you hear a cry of exultation when he wins a point like that? Because he knows that having broken that big server, Boris Becker, he has got his own magnificent serve to come. And that is so likely to underline a break that that accounts for the smile on his face right here. Just look at his serve in slow motion. Always the left toe sticking up at the beginning of the serve. The left arm always pointing at the ball. The body arching, the ball in front. A toss fairly well to the left to achieve a certain amount of topspin on the shot. More on the second serve than the first. But I reckon it's one of the best 2 serves in the world, or 3.
These two men among the 2 best servers in the world, along with Ivanisevic. So it's gradually clear that the momentum is being created now by Sampras.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Can he keep it going? And that was caught in the telephoto lens of one of the courtside cameramen. There he is. The ball going straight into that long tom.
Love. Love.
Becker's got to find a way somehow of unseating the confident Sampras, who now is serving, volleying, hitting all his shots so well.
40 love. Game Sampras. New balls, please. Sampras leads 3-1, third set.
So Sampras with a stranglehold on this set as long as he goes on serving as well as that. A perfectly played service game. New balls, perhaps that'll change his luck.
Love.
Ball.
All.
Again, the serve goes down the middle, as it has done so many more times on that first court than any other. Sampras was waiting for it, and it's the return that does all the damage.
Ball. Out.
15-14.
So John McEnroe's forecast seems to be about to be fulfilled, though too early to say that yet. Certainly Sampras playing so much better now.
$30-40. Deuce.
So 15-40 to deuce. He served 14 times to the forehand, 32 to the backhand from this court.
Advantage Becker.
And this time it was good enough. Well played.
Game Becker.
And they're finding it difficult to cheer.
Sampras leads 3-2, third set, 1 set all.
And if Becker is going to make a fight, it was absolutely essential that he didn't go as he'd done in the previous set, 2 breaks down. How well he came out of that 15-40 game.
Yes, he did, because he was confronted with some really nasty returns of serve from Sampras, who is returning so well. I thought at the beginning that with 2 big servers, it was the man who collared the other man's serve who would prevail in this match, and that appears to be happening at the moment, because Sampras is giving Becker so many nasty second shots to play. Becker plays his serve, he steams in, he's a big man, he doesn't want to stop and move sideways, and he doesn't particularly want to play backhand half volleys. It's a difficult shot. He has this marvelous big predictable action, sawing motion. So many people have copied it. Up it goes. Tremendous amount of body goes into this serve. It's quite a high toss, and it comes down from a great height. At the beginning it was kicking up very high. I haven't noticed that so much lately.
Sampras with the break of serve, achieved in game 3, 3-2. Second serve ace at 102 miles per hour. Into double figures. Of course, the frustration he's feeling is because he can't really read the direction of the serve. He can't return enough to embarrass Sampras, and he hasn't yet reached a break point.
Love. 40.
Well, if he ever gets hard up, he can have a job as a groundsman.
Game Sampras. Sampras leads 4-2, third set.
So poor Becker here has been unable to win a single point in this set against the Sampras serve.
Love. 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 40-15.
I think we knew there would be a lot of double faults from Becker today, simply because of that need to hit it hard and deep against a man whose returns might be able to turn the match against Becker if the serve was bad or short.
Game back up. Sampras leads 4-3, third set, 1 set all.
And although at the moment Becker is suffering, it is far too early to write him off, Bill. I mean, we've seen him come back at these championships and in others magnificently.
Well, Agassi is a testament to that, isn't he? I mean, that was an incredible turnaround. Anybody against Agassi in that form who can come back after a set and a couple of breaks down, you have to have respect for. And I never write Becker off, and I'm absolutely certain Pete Sampras is not writing him off right here. But at the moment, on the state of play, it's a bit, I don't know, in aviation terms, it's like a Spitfire attacking a heavy bomber, and the Spitfire is sort of darting in, making its point, and going away, and the heavy bomber is limping on. You know, Becker's limping a bit here, not physically, but in terms of the score line and the fact that he just cannot make inroads into this magnificent serving from Sampras.
Perhaps the change of racket will change Becker's fortunes.
Fifteen love. Love.
Has been a magnificent display of serving today from the champion.
Love. Sampras leads 5-3, third set.
Another love service game. He's yet to lose a point on his serve in this set. In the first, he lost just 7. In the second, 5. So he's only lost 12 points on his serve today. Apart, of course, from the tiebreak.
Foul!
Love 15. Love 30.
Yet again, the serve down the middle, and so nearly another winning return. Becker will have to direct more out to the forehand.
All. 14-30.
Better serve there. Here's another of those wonderful returns of serve, picking the one down the middle. He moved before the ball had bounced. Got it back too quickly.
Advantage Becker. Deuce.
Not able to outguess Sampras yet.
Advantage Becker.
Immediately switches to the forehand. The ace.
Game Becker.
And again.
Sampras leads 5-4. Third set, 1 set all.
Well, I wonder if he has come to that conclusion.
Well, I think he has, but I think, in fact, the grip he has on the racket doesn't help him with that slice serve. You know, it's geared to a big flat serve, which is the reason, I think, really, that he feels more comfortable with the big serve down the middle of the court. But he has produced a few slice serves, and they have brought dividends, so good for him. As those eyes gaze forward, you wonder what he's thinking. I think he is thinking, I'm Boris Becker. I hope he's thinking this, and I am a 3-time Wimbledon champion and planning to win it again. This man has terrific resolve, great mental strength, great physical strength, and I'm sure he's not thinking at all in terms of defeat. Delena there, smiling down at Pete Sampras. I just wonder, as she is in front of poor Barbara, who is not really, if Boris looks up at her, going to get very much encouragement from that.
So here's the moment when Becker, for the first time, must break the Sampras serve, surely.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Serving then for the 2-1 lead.
a difficult shot. He plays it on the rise and he's falling backwards off it, but he controlled that very well.
Love 30.
The first 2 points that Becker has been able to take from Sampras in this set on the Sampras serve. So the intensity has returned.
All. 40-30.
Impossible to watch for Barbara as Sampras, with his 13th and 14th aces today, arrives at set point.
Deuce.
And this is the first time that Sampras has been taken to deuce.
Fault! Come on!
Scything serve here. Fantastic serve. That's the one he loves to do.
Set point again.
Game and third set, Sampras. 6-4.
Wonderful serve in this. The first time he was threatened ever in the match. And he finds 4 aces altogether.
Sampras leads 2-1.
And takes the 2-1 lead, approaching 2 hours, an hour and 56 minutes.
Fourth set, Becker to serve. Love.
Becker again flailing as we look at this shot from behind him. It's happened often.
(30-15).
Sampras's backhand is working well, just
30.
brushes this disdainfully down the line.
(30-40). Game Sampras. First game, fourth set. Sampras leads 2-1.
Well, he's been under such enormous pressure because of the quality of Sampras' serve as Becker today, and I'm not altogether surprised about those 12th and 13th double faults that cost him his delivery there. And if you look actually at the whole pattern of the match in terms of where the points have been won from, it's quite clear that Sampras' control from the back of the court, and is particularly those 24 baseline winners to only 9 from Becker, have been the big difference between them. The serve more or less the same, a few more points won at the net by Becker, but it's the baseline control, and he's been hitting those, particularly the backhand, so well.
Yep, returning beautifully, which this match really depended on at the beginning, but it now has switched a bit from returning the serve to actually getting the serve in. I mean, Becker's double faults are hardly helping his case. Sampras, on the other hand, seems to be serving better and better as the match goes on. When he's faced by a point which he considers critical, he serves an ace.
Well, that's 3 in a row. 5 of the last 6 service points of Sampras have been aces.
And the last 2 serves from Becker, doubles. Sampras is a great athlete as well as a great tennis player, and you see him in action here. Just watch the athleticism here as he jumps for the smash with the eyes on the ball.
Love. Second service.
Not often having to stretch that wide, simply because he's been serving so well.
give him full credit here. It's a magnificent shot.
40-30.
Sometimes players do a shot like that, and it's rather better than they intended.
Game Sampras. Sampras leads 2 games to love, 4th set.
Really is very, very impressive serving. It has been all day. 124 miles an hour, that last ace. Love to.
$15 love.
Beautifully constructed. Here's the return of serve, just chopped
15
back.
all.
Sampras moves to where he thinks the next ball's coming. It does.
$30-15. $40-15. Game Becker. New balls, please. Sampras leads 2 games to 1, 4th set, and by 2 sets to 1.
Yeah, Sam. Well, Becker hanging in there, and Sampras knows with a 2-set-to-1 lead and a break. And I'm sure he feels confident, super confident this afternoon on serve, because his serve is really getting better and better. And his second serve is so good as well. And there is the difference. Sampras first serve 94 and Becker 82, but I mean it's deplorable difference, isn't it, for Becker on the second serve, only 37%. Now that is not only that the Becker second serve is not as good, but the Sampras return of serve is so excellent. Sampras is playing exactly as a player should play on grass. He's serving well, he's returning well. He's not only returning well, he's returning differently all the time. He's chopping it, he's driving through it, he's going floating cross-court with topspin. He's producing the full repertoire, actually.
And that has also contributed, that whole ability to return well, contributed to the 13 double faults that Becker served.
Absolutely, yeah, because Becker is trying for bigger serves, knowing he's facing a great return.
New tennis balls, 2-1, 4th set.
Love 15. $15 all. 30-15.
Can't read it.
First service.
You can't see it either. Hurtling past him.
Depressing thing for Becker.
40-15.
Even when he does manage a fine return of serve, and that was, Sampras is equal to it on the first volley.
Game Sampras.
Too good.
Sampras leads 3-1, fourth set.
So 19, 20 and 21 the aces mounted in that game.
Just a heroic backhand coming up. Look at the style.
115.
Right down, living with that ball.
You wouldn't think that he had a two-handed backhand until he was about 16, would you?
No, you tend to forget that.
Yes, it was good.
Love 30. $15-30.
Even that is in. That was a cruel piece of luck for Becker here. Lovely topspin on it, and that's what fooled Becker.
15-40.
It dipped at the last moment and slipped that line. 2 break points.
$13-40. Deuce.
A very courageous second serve, very deep, kicking up high.
Advantage Becker.
Now, Sampras has played a lot of these too. He controls his wrists so well for that shot. You have to.
A little bit of repartee there with one of the fans. Don't think that'll disturb Sampras' concentration too much.
Advantage Becker.
Return.
Becker. Sampras leads 3 games to 2, fourth set, and by 2 sets to 1.
Well, I suppose, Bill, absolutely essential for Becker's hopes that he holds serve there, which he did from 2 break points down. I mean, if he'd gone 2 breaks down, surely he was gone. Although he did come back against Agassi from that position.
Well, he did against Agassi, John, but then Agassi hasn't got Sampras' serve, and I think that is the crucial factor right now, that Sampras is a break ahead and serving so well.
And obviously, from the way Becker has reacted to this Sampras serve, there must be a doubt in his mind whether he can hope to return it with any sort of regularity, enough, that is, to break. I mean, just a moment or two ago, he told us that he couldn't see it.
Time.
And a dreadful feeling. And that's the first time almost that he's been in a playful mood. And there was the little repartee just now with the crowd, so perhaps there is an element of doubt in his mind about whether he can win this match. But he is a survivor, you know. He's a great survivor.
$15 love.
Prolonged applause for a match, for a point here, absolutely full of skill. That lob volley there at full stretch. Becker falling, but every point played there with purpose, skill, decisive.
Broken string. Either that or he's going to put the little gut savers in the racket. No, I think he's going to change. Taking the little device that goes into the throat area of the strings to stop the vibration.
You know, in last year's final, he only broke 1 string in the entire tournament. That was in the final.
Come on.
40-15.
Well, finally, Becker collars the wide serve. That must give him enormous satisfaction.
40-30. And Sampras. Sampras leads 4-2, fourth set.
So Sampras there with that 22nd ace in the middle of the service game, serving more aces in this match than he has in any other of his 6 matches on the way to the final. 84 before today.
Love. 30 love.
Well, it's more
30,
difficult to play this shot on the forehand side because your wrist, you play the shot late, your wrist has to turn inwards. It's easier on the backhand. So the
Becker parents, who sat there 10 years ago to watch Boris take that first title, will be feeling rather differently today. Here is the point that Becker thought
Sampras
should have
leads
been
5
his.
games to 2, fourth set,
Out
and by
or
2
in.
sets to 1.
More out than in, by
Yep.
the look of it.
More out than in, but if 1/2% touched the line, it's in, and I'm afraid that might have happened. It's terribly difficult to call that one for the umpire. He's looking down the line, but for Becker, it must have been a dagger in his heart. That.
So now Sampras knows that he has this match in his grasp. A third title that would be an historic one, because only Borg and Perry have done it since the challenge round was abolished back in 1922. And he's played quite magnificently, served
Time.
with venom all the time and with great variety. Often Becker has been going the wrong way. But don't yet write off Becker. Will Becker, for the first time in the match, break
Thank you,
the
ladies and
Sampras
gentlemen.
serve?
Love 15. All.
Martina Navratilova will be out in the mixed doubles final later, watching. It just hasn't been working for him today. 2 backhands missed. And the half chance is not taken.
Lovely shot coming from Becker, right down the line.
30 all.
And like a bullet down the centre line, the 23rd ace from Sampras today.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Has brought him to championship point.
He's done it. 7-match Sampras. 3 sets to 1. 6-7, 6-2, 6-4, 6-2.
Well, that isn't really typical Sampras at all, but the exuberance can be understood. It's a question that we have now had answered. Did Sampras have a 3rd consecutive championship in him? He did. And it was a magnificent serving exhibition, but not just that, Bill Threlfall. It was a wonderful all-round display.
Far from it. This fellow has proved to me, and I'm sure to a lot of people, John, that he is absolutely up there with the very best players who have graced this famous court. He is really a perfect grass court player. He has all the shots required on grass. He has this inner depth to him, which he fights his corner. He's convinced of his own skill. He's a powerful character mentally, actually, which doesn't come through to the crowd, perhaps. He doesn't court a lot of attention from a crowd, but he really is a strong character, and he's proved it in 3 Wimbledon finals.
And a thought for Boris Becker, who fought valiantly but was simply outplayed today, particularly outserved. And the fact that he never broke the Sampras serve, and that Sampras lost just a handful of points throughout the match, really was what it was all about today. And this is what ultimately it has all been about, the Challenge Cup there. That is a perpetual Challenge Cup, which was presented first in 1887 by the club, and of which each year's champion gets a replica. So the playful Sampras, the side we don't often see. But how nice that on this wonderful occasion, an occasion which he said he was going to dedicate to his stricken coach, Tim Gullickson, who will have been watching this live on American television. What a marvellous moment for them both. So the familiar ritual, the sub's president, the Duke of Kent and the Duchess of Kent, chatting with the ball boys and the ball girls. And they all come from Merton schools and the Beacon School in Banstead. And the little chat there between the two players, a rather nice touch that, with Alan Mills presiding and commiserating there with Boris. So it'll be the defeated finalist first. Well, he's known triumph on this court on 3 occasions. This, his 7th final, by no means a disaster. And I hope that Barbara feels proud of Boris today, because he's fought valiantly, as he always does. Disappointing, of course, not to have added a 4th title. But surely one of the most popular champions we've had here in years. But he was forced to give best today to the champion, who now has these 3 in a row. And he holds the trophy on which are engraved the names of Bjorn Borg, 5 in a row. I wonder if Sampras can do that. And Fred Perry, 3 in a row in the 1930s.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the chair umpire, Mr. Kim Craven.
So, having done his first men's final, going with the ladies' final that he did, he receives a little medal.
Championships referee, Mr. Alan Mills.
No trouble at all this year with the weather. In fact, Alan was running out of matches as the second week unfolded, thanks to the glorious weather.
You really are pretty much good genius, you really are.
Nice that Boris can retain a sense of humour on in a time like this when it must be very disappointing for him. Now the turn of the photographers. And I think when we first saw him emerging as a 17-year-old, moving through the ranks of the professionals, we all knew he had the potential to be a truly great player, which he's proved here on grass and on hard courts, both in the United States and in Australia. And I believe that he has the ability in him to do what he tried to do but failed this year, and that's to win a French championship.
John, I bet the thing he's thinking about, particularly if he looks up there and sees Tom, is his coach Tim Gullickson, because I would think, knowing Pete, that he would want to win more for Gullickson, Tim Gullickson, than for himself.
In touch daily by phone with Tim, and I'm sure he'll be one of the first people that he'll visit on his return to the United States. And probably show him the replica of that trophy, of which he already has a couple. Well, this is going to test his fitness. That's pretty heavy, that trophy, I can tell you. And I don't suppose that at this moment he's thinking of the £365,000 that he's won today, which will take his earnings to about $17.5 million. And the chairman of the club, John Curry, just commiserating there with Boris Becker. Not satisfied on this side of the court until he's come over to show them the trophy. Testing those arm muscles. Along with that cup, there used to be a cup which the champions won, the President's Cup, presented in 1904 by Prince George while he was the president of the club before he became King George V. But that was discontinued last year. A lap of honour. So 6 titles now he holds at Grand Slam level. I wonder how many more there'll be.
Quite a few, I would think, John. And I was just thinking of his favourite phrase. He likes to describe things and places and people as a class act. Well, he just epitomises what the phrase he likes. You just have to feel sorry for the runner-up at moments like this. I think Boris is conducting himself marvellously well, keeping amused, talking to people. Oh, good. That's lovely.
Well, well, well. How lovely.
Et c'est l'une des grandes attractions.